Hello, I am the Chief Technical Analysis at Cryptocurrency Financials, and today I'll be showing you how to effectively utilize TradingView. So first, you're going to want to open your browser. Currently, I am in the Google Chrome browser and search www.tradingview.com. This will take you directly to the website. Now, TradingView is essentially a website where traders who utilize technical analysis can mark up ideas and share with other traders. All right. So now what you're going to want to do is join for free. I strongly advise you to click join for free because it's going to be very beneficial in the long run. So go to sign up for an account. You'll type in active email account and make sure it's an email account that you actually have access to. Create a username and create your password. All right, from there, you'll select sign up right here, but not before you press terms of service and agree to them. I mean, you're always going to have to, for any website you go to, you're going to have to agree to the terms of service. So just agree to it regardless. All right. So once you press sign up on TradingView, it'll say your account is now active. Please verify your email. If you don't have it in your inbox, check spam/junk box. You can sign up with, then they have the following listed: Twitter, Google+, Facebook, not sure where that is, and LinkedIn. So basically what TradingView is doing is making sure that you're not a robot because they try to decrease spam. They don't want any robots or, algorithms running their system entirely. So if you haven't received the activation link, you're going to press resend activation link. Okay. Now you're going to go over to the email that you chose for this. You're going to go over to this email that you selected right here. You should receive a notification, and that notification will be titled TradingView Activation Link. Again, this might be in your spam folder depending upon your Gmail settings. I'm using Gmail, Google Mail right now. So it says, Dear A1723435, it's my username. Welcome to TradingView. Your sign up to tradingview.com has been received. Please click the link to activate your account. So you're going to go ahead and select the link because it's mandatory. You'll click the link. And once the link is selected, you'll see this page. TradingView sign up. Almost there. Finish creating your account. Now, this is basically like, I guess you could say the aesthetics or your identity. You can select a photo if you wish. It's not mandatory. You can select a photo of yourself or anything and put it in here. You're going to put your first name, and then you can put your last name or any name you want. They're not going to fact check if it's your correct name. Then you're going to go ahead and press continue. So I'm going to return to the Google Chrome webpage and log in. All right, so this right here is basically the hub of TradingView. Okay. At the top of the page, we have different markets: S&P 500, NASDAQ, currencies, commodities, and the dollar index. Right below that, we have the TradingView logo. And then we have the, information tool. Now, this is updates upon what TradingView updates. So they're basically giving you an update on what they updated, so you know that it's updated. Adjacent to that, we have the country you're in. Personally, regardless of the country you're in, I advise you to select the United States. You can select the United Kingdom or India or Dutchland or whatever, but there are more TradingView users or individuals using TradingView in the United States rather than the United Kingdom. So you want to get, so if you're searching for an idea of Bitcoin and you want to have a variety of different ideas, right? Rather than have less ideas. And you'll find less ideas in the United Kingdom, India, basically anything that's not the United States. All right, right next to that, we have the ticker chart, the ticker. So the ticker is basically just searching for a currency or a commodity or a future, or anything that you want, and it'll bring up a chart for that. Now, we're going to go into charts later throughout the video, so you'll be comfortable and be able to bring up a chart. Right below that, we have trading ideas. Now, TradingView is notorious for having trading ideas. It's TradingView. You collaborate and exchange ideas. So for this instance, what we're going to do is search Bitcoin against the US dollar, right? We're going to search it. Now, this is going to bring up ideas of the most prominent, well-known, active, reputable people on the website right now. So what you're going to do, well, you don't have to do it, but these are just ideas of what large users on the site believe. For instance, Diana Kelma, she's one of the largest influencers on the site. And she believes that Bitcoin is going to increase exponentially. Right here, she gave her analysis right over here, her technical analysis. She believes it's going to break down just a little bit and continue to go up. So she would be buying. Now, each one of these ideas will say a long or a short position. It'll be, if it's long, it's going to be in green, and if it's short, it's going to be in sell. Going to be, if it's short, it's going to be red. If it's a buy, it's green, which is long, and if it's sell, it'll say short, which will be red. So green buy, red sell. All right. So this doesn't only work for cryptocurrency. It works for all commodities, stocks, and practically any market you want to trade. People are exchanging ideas, and you can see that. I mean, you can look at the trading ideas right here, and it's over 1,000. But again, just stay on the most popular ideas by like the top. You know, I mean, this badge right here, it's basically like you're the top. She's one of the top users on this site. All right, so I'm just going to go back to the home page by clicking this little cloud button. Okay. All right. Then you have educational ideas. You can go to educational ideas if you want. It's not really mandatory. It's just going to inform you on how to trade by this person's set or standards. We also have scripts. Scripts are, you could think of it as an indicator, a set of codes that allow a user to predict which direction price might possibly go. People. Now, people, in my opinion, is pretty self-explanatory. If you want to search for a user, you'll go ahead and click people, and it will go there entirely. Oops, did not mean to click that. Let me just go back. Oops, sorry about that, guys. Okay, where was I? I was at people. All right. Right below that, we have ideas, same premise, market, scripts, education, chart. All right, now we have top authors. Again, these are the most well-known users. When they post an idea, it's pretty like respected. For instance, if Diana Kelma believes that Bitcoin will go up, She'll include her analysis and why it's going to go up and whatnot. So this is ranked by reputation, how many people viewed it and liked it today. So she's the largest user of today. Now, if you go into the week, these are the largest users of the week, month, etc., and then all time is the largest users on the site. Totally. Now, adjacent to top author, we have market summary. This includes indexes, currencies, futures, and cryptos. For this demonstration video, we can click crypto. Now, this is just a market summary. It's nothing large. It just gives you the current price of what, I guess, cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin, Ethereum, or Ripple, or whatever, what it's currently trading at. All right. So this is basically the hub of TradingView. Okay. All right. So now you're going to want to take your cursor and move it over markets. From markets, move the cursor down to cryptocurrencies. And you're going to click this once. I also want to apologize in advance for my computer's hindering performance. When I have a webcam enabled, it typically runs slow. So, yeah. I also do not trade on this laptop, if you're wondering. All right, so this is the cryptocurrency market on TradingView. Now, TradingView allows users to view every single cryptocurrency that they have out there. So, as you're aware, the largest Bitcoin, I'm sorry, getting a little tongue-tied, the largest cryptocurrency right now is Bitcoin, followed by Ethereum, Ripple, Bitcoin, Cash, Litecoin, Dash, NEM, and Monero. Now, this is an overview. So we can go to the performance. This basically tells you the change, what percentage they moved in a certain period. I believe this is a day period. Oscillators, that's repeating intervals. I'm not going to get into that. It's a little complex. All right. So they give you the market capitalization, 91 billion currently for Bitcoin. The fully diluted market capitalization, the close, the available coins, the total coins in speculation, the trade volume, and the change. Okay. Now, what we're going to do in order to enable us to see a chart is double click. I'm sorry, do not double click. Right click. Okay. And it's going to say open Bitcoin US dollar chart. You're just going to go ahead and select it. It's going to load. It's going to populate in the chart. So right now, you are currently looking at a live version of Bitcoin. You're looking at the currency, it being live, and what it's currently trading at. So if you want to see what it's trading at, you can go right over here. It's going to say the number, which is going to be in red, white text. And this line right here is known as the ask line. This line is, again, it's currently what price is trading at. Okay. All right, so I'm going to explain all of this with you guys. I'm going to explain what all this is up here, down here, followed by what's over here. So we're just going to start in the upper left-hand corner, okay? Now, currently we're looking at the Bitcoin US dollar. On TradingView, I don't believe, to my recollection, to my knowledge, I don't believe you can view a cryptocurrency's raw data. It has to be compared to something else. So whether it's Bitcoin, whether it's Litecoin, whether it's the euro, or I don't know, an Apple stock. Well, I believe for stocks you can view it just raw data, but for currencies you can't. It has to be compared to someone, unless you have a dollar index or an index. So basically Bitcoin has to be compared to something else. It can't just be Bitcoin. So what are you going to type in is Bitcoin, US dollar, being compared to the US dollar. You're going to select Bitcoin / dollar. Typically, the first one is the most reliable source. It has the most information dating back to beginning of the market. Okay. Again, it's going to populate. It's going to load. All right. Now, right next to this Bitcoin, we have, it should say 30. Now, what this is a time frame that you look at for looking at the market. Now, you have several different time frames. Quite honestly, I like to use a 30-minute time frame when conducting my analysis. You have the hour, 2 hour, 3 hour, 4 hour. Okay. Now, right over here, depending upon the time frame you select, each one of these intervals represent a 30-minute interval. Okay. So 30 minutes for each one of these candles. That's what they're called. Okay. And I'll get into candles just in a bit. I'm just going to go across and explain what is going on essentially up here. So first, right next to the 30-minute time frame, also on the time interval, you can select how you'd like to view it. So if you want 5 hours, 3 hours, 2 hours, 30 minutes, or whatever, or a month or whatever, you can select that and customize it. So right next to the time interval, we have candles, okay? And we have the bar style. So again, each one of these red and green, bars can be changed actually. Right now, I have them set in candlesticks because I like candlesticks the most compared to all the other ones. You can have it as a bar. This is called the bar chart. I'm not really quite fond of it. You have hollow candles. You have the Heki Eshu line and area, and et cetera and so forth. But if I were you, I'd stick with the candle charts. And I'll explain why you should strictly use a candle chart. So basically, this is what a candle is, okay? So this white right over here, that's known as a candle body. And the wick coming out of the top, the wick at the very top represents the highest price for the day. This represents the closing price of where it stopped, the opening price, and then the lowest point of the day. Now I'll explain that on the current chart we have up. So given this is on the 30-minute time frame, each one of these candles represent 30 minutes. So if I zoom in all the way, right here, let's just choose this candle. In this 30-minute time frame, this point right here, that was the highest point of the session, of that 30-minute session. This was the lowest point of the session. And this was a closing price. So this is where price closed before moving on to the next session. That's the highest and lowest. I like having the ability to see the highest and the lowest because later on that'll play into technical analysis and help your trades be more accurate. Okay, so now that we went over the candles and other candles, we're now going to go to chart properties, also known as a setting tool. It looks like a gear. All right, so right here we have the basically you can customize which way or how you want the candles to look. You can have it black, yellow, green, whatever color you want it to be. Truly what matters psychologically is what makes you happy. because whatever makes you happy will actually end up making you more profitable in the long run. So we have scales, we have the background if you want to customize that. We have time zones and sessions. Now, in the crypto currency market, in all markets, there are 4 sessions. The first session, starting at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, is the Asian session. Okay. Now, from the Asian session, we go into the London session, followed by the New York session, followed by the Sydney session, and then it repeats. So marking the closing period of each day is 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Then we have trading. This is kind of all irrelevant for now. You can figure it out if you'd like. You'll probably end up tinkering within figuring it out, but for our purposes, for this demonstration video, it's not quite necessary. All right. Now we have compare or add a symbol. So right now we have the Bitcoin against the US dollar added. And for instance, if I wanted to add Ethereum compared to the Bitcoin, I would type in Ethereum US dollar. Now this would load. I'm not going to do it right now because when it's loading, since I have the webcam, it would actually hinder the performance of my laptop, and I don't want to lag out from this video. So if you want to view Bitcoin and Ethereum at the same time on the same chart and comparing specific values, that's what you could do. You could compare Bitcoin to a future like corn or perhaps oil or something like that. All right. Now we have indicators. Now indicators are, as I described earlier, right over here. We run over here and I described it as scripts. Scripts and indicators are basically the same. Indicators, again, an indicator can be utilized to beneficially enhance the way you trade. It'll help you determine which way price action is going. So just for the start of it, I'm going to give you one indicator. It is probably the most well-known indicator in the market currently. It's been used for decades. It's called RSI, Relative Strength Index. You can go ahead and type in Relative Strength Index if you'd like. Select the built-in one. People can also create their own indicator. So if you have a friend who has an indicator, you could search his in here and it would appear. So select Relative Strength Index, okay? And after you select it, you can close the screen. Let's close that right there. All right. So what's so cool about indicators is they tell you the direction where price is going, okay? So this might look a little complex or overwhelming at first, but I'm gonna break it down with you. It's not really too difficult. So right here, you have this little like trend line, if you will, right? And it's dark purple. And then we have this purple rectangle, okay? Now, evidentially, as you can notice, when the purple line comes right out of the rectangle, it goes back up. And this is because price always wants to find a neutral area. This neutral area right here is where it always returns to. So when it breaks this rectangle area and comes out, it goes back to the neutral area. And you can see, literally, when it breaks this neutral area, how price action goes up and it comes back, okay? So it came out, so to sell, all right? Then it got to this zone, it came out of the rectangle area, right? And then price action realized, oh, I'm outside of the rectangle area, so I have to go back up. and then price goes back up. And here's another example. So you see how it came out and had to correct itself. So since it's above the rectangle area, it came back to the neutral zone and came down. And those are just two examples. You can view it again if it's a little difficult for you to comprehend the first time. So it's imperative to know that indicators are the most accurate on a higher time frame. Okay, and then, I mean, the 30-minute time frame is all right, but if we're talking about accuracy, like if price is breaking from this zone right here, if it breaks out, if it breaks down, and you're like want to buy it to catch the wave up, okay? If you want to buy to catch this wave up, you're going to want to be in a more reliable time frame, such as the hour or 4-hour or perhaps even the day chart. Because previously, as we've seen in the last couple of years with cryptocurrencies, is at least with Bitcoin as well as Ethereum, it's mostly a bullish trend. It's an ascending trend. So when price, I'm sorry, not bullish, it's a bearish trend. So when price dips down a little bit, you want to catch that trend. You want to catch that trend up because that'll allow you to hold the trade and make profit. It's all about profit. Okay? All right. So now I just explained the indicators, the compare tool, all of that. All right. So now we're going to go over to this clock over here, and this is called an alert button. Now, what the alert is it'll allow you to set a point. For instance, if I'm sleeping and price actually gets to, if price gets to 5,600, okay? If Bitcoin goes to 5,600 when I'm sleeping, right? I will set an alert at this level, okay? Now you can set an alert by two ways. You can right click and you select add an alert right here. If it adds, all right, so right click, add an alert, add alert. Well, in this demonstration, it's not adding it, probably because I have my webcam up. You guys won't be able to see it. I'll try refreshing the page. Okay, I'll try again. Sorry about this, guys. Let's go over here, click add alert. We can type in the alert we want. So let's say if I'm sleeping, okay, I'm sleeping at 9. If I go to bed at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, all right, and I desire to wake up at 6 a.m., okay? So much stuff, literally so much stuff in the market can happen in between that interval, okay? So if I believe something might happen at 5,600, I type in 5,600 and press create. There it goes. Now it's going to set a level right here for when price action. Now what price action is basically these candles and moving. For when price action gets to this point specifically, an alarm is going to go off and tell you Bitcoin is at 5,600 right now. So it's a pretty cool tool. I like using it because when you use these tools, you don't have to spend so many hours in front of the chart as much. Okay, like it just makes trading easier. All right. Okay, so right here, adjacent to the alert function, we have published ideas. Now, when you select published idea, you'll see, well, I don't know if you saw it before, but hold on. You see that little ideas come up right here, and these are other users. Other users publish their idea and it's their general analysis if they're buying or if they're selling, what they believe price action is going to do. So this guy right here, he thought Bitcoin looked, as you can see, quite bullish, okay? And it went up. And Bitcoin at the time, when he said it was bullish, it went up $178 when he thought it was bullish. Okay. And these little dots, that's just people's ideas where they think it's going to go up or if they think it's going to go down. All right. And in this video, I'll basically tell you how these guys are coming up with these ideas, a general description of how they're coming up with the ideas for the most part. Okay. Now, there's a drop-down menu and it says all ideas, my ideas only, because you can, over here, publish idea. You can post your ideas if you want, ideas of people you follow and stuff. All right. And the last thing at the top, well, not the last thing yet, but one of the last things, you have full screen mode. Excuse me. You have full screen mode. This is basically for presentation. So if you're in front of a large group of people and you're presenting about price action or whatnot, if you think Bitcoin's going summer or whatever it is, if you want it in a full screen, you can have it in a full screen. Okay. This over here is a split screen function. Now, a split screen function basically just splits the screen. You cannot split the screen because this is a free trial, but splitting the screen will allow you to view Bitcoin and let's say Ether or something at the same time. So you could be viewing Bitcoin over here, and then on this side, you could be viewing Ether. And you could see them at the same time live, which I think is pretty cool. Okay. Right here, this is if you want to save your chart. I'm sorry, this is if you want to save your chart. You just click it. You name your chart, whatever. Now, if you want to load that chart up, it'll just click this, the cloud with the arrow going down, and it'll load. All right, so that's all for the top section of here. Now under here we have Bitcoin against the US dollar. This is only displaying what you're viewing, okay? I'm not sure what Bitstamp is. It could be a mediator. OHLC values, just think of them as it's irrelevant, okay? That doesn't matter. All right. Now, this right here is also another indicator. It's a volume indicator. It just says when a lot of traders are trading mostly. So you can see this huge wick. Price just fell. Price fell. Jesus. Price fell $370 in 2 hours. All right. And so obviously there was a lot of volume. This right here will tell you the volume, basically. When there's a lot of volume, that is your opportunity to make money. More volume, more liquidity equals profit, okay? Because that means price is moving. People move price, okay? Politics, they don't move price. People reacting to politics move price. All right. If you'd like to hide it, if you don't want to show it, you just click the eye over there. If you want to edit it, change the values, you can do so by pressing the link. I mean, sorry, not the link, the gear box over there. Okay. So now we're going to go over to the side, the right side of the page. Right now, I believe that this should look the same for you and I, the viewer, okay? All of this is basically different markets. You don't want this. I don't believe you want this, not unless you want to trade S&P 500 or the Dow Jones Industrial Average. I don't believe you want to trade that, if I'm correct. So what you're going to do is go over to the X and just close all of these out. All of these out. Close Bitcoin out too. Don't worry. I'm going to show you how to bring it back as well as add other currencies. and you're going to close them all out. Okay. Now, this is your watch list. Okay. Your watch list enables you to switch back and forth between different cryptocurrencies very quickly. Like, for example, we have the Bitcoin against the US dollar up. Okay. So again, you always select the first example. Okay. And if I want Ethereum, I type in ETH against the US dollar and it would populate. So I just select, a sec. Yeah. Yeah. So I just select Ethereum against the US dollar. And basically, this is a hot tool, so it'll enable you to switch back and forth between them very quickly. That's all that is. And if you want to add another one, all you would do is type in the symbol. The symbol is a currency, and then you would have to give it a base pair. Okay. And that base pair is the US dollar. For the most part, just use the US dollar as your base pair as the end of it. Okay. All right. So now that we have both of these up, I can go over this. This is manage alerts. Right below the watch list, manage alerts. If you want to, when you create an alert, okay, I'm just going to set a random alert on our bit tray. It'll tell you if the alert's active. If it's active, it'll be green. If it's not active, it's going to be red. If it already fired, it's going to be fired as in it already activated. It's going to be gray. So I'm just going to delete that right now because it's irrelevant. OHLC, I have no idea what this is. It's never benefited me learning about it. So, yeah. Over here, these are your ideas. So when you start posting ideas, they'll be listed here. So you can refer back to those ideas. Right here is a social aspect. This is the cryptocurrency chat. On TradingView, the cryptocurrency chat is the most active chat. I mean, this chat gets got 6,000 messages per day. Well, 6,000 messages today. Yeah, it's very active. Careful when you're in here, because not everyone is experienced in this chat, as you can see, just by the grammar they use. So be mindful of that. They have stocks, index, foreign exchange, and so on and so forth. This is personal message. As I showed you over here, for instance, if you want to talk to a specific person, let's do, you want to speak to IG promoters, okay? So if you want to speak to this individual, you would message them. And once you message them, you could ask about, hey, where do you believe Bitcoin is headed? Send it, okay? Let me put this back on the front page. Now on this side, right over here. All right, it's not gonna allow you to talk to anyone until you verify your phone number. Because again, they don't like spam, they don't like any bots or anything like that. Right here is the idea stream. Okay, right below PM's recent chats is the idea stream. The idea stream is basically just ideas of other users that you follow. And this is notification. So if somebody likes your tweet, if someone likes your post, if someone wants to contact you or reply to something, it'll be listed right here. All right. Now go back to the first one, watch list. Click it. And right under here, it'll say details. Now these details, it just tells you Bitcoin, US dollar, what is currency trading at. And then they have headlines, interestingly enough. Headlines are live data about like in the market, throughout the market of what's going on about Bitcoin. So for instance, we have collaborations, FTW, how blockchain came so far. It's basically a whole bunch of news about cryptocurrencies and what's happening indirectly. Okay, so now we're going to go over and explain to you what this side over here is. Again, this is your this is your login information. Like this is just your profile. Okay, so right below that we have the cross here. The cross here is used if you want to line something up like this with something over here. You can see that a line actually appears. It just makes things accurate if you want to line stuff up. Okay. Now you can use a dot. Don't use a dot. Please don't use a dot. I don't like the dots or don't even use a mouse. Just use a cross. A cross is the most accurate. You'll like it more. All right. Then after that, we have the trend line. So what the trend line, I'm sorry, not the trend line. We have the trend line tools. Now, if you want to draw the trend line for Bitcoin, it would look like something like this. All right. You have horizontal line, horizontal ray, vertical line, arrow, ray. These are just really basic tools that you can use to predict where price is going. Now, all of these, I don't use horizontal rays and like stuff like that. I basically use trend lines. And in a couple minutes, I'm going to explain why you should use trend lines too. And I'll incorporate that into a technical analysis. Okay. All right, right here, we have a pitchfork. A pitchfork is the same as a trend line. I'll just draw it out for you. A pitchfork is just, it's like something like, it's basically like something like this, okay? I mean, you can see when, hold on, let me get a better view for you guys. Okay. Yeah, I don't really like using pitchfork. It's kind of difficult. So basically, the theory is when it hits this, it's going to bounce down. It hits this, it goes up. So it's just bouncing. That's all it is. But I'll explain that later. I'm just giving you the basic markup of the tools. Okay. So I don't use the stuff that I'm skipping over. I don't use. I've never used. I just don't find use of it. So we have Fibonacci retracement. Now this video, it can only be a certain duration, so I apologize if I'm going too fast or speaking too fast. But yeah, so it's just a general markup, not markup, but general explanation of what TradingView is and how it can be used. So this is Fibonacci. Fibonacci is a tool. He's a famous mathematician. I've been talking too much, I'm tongue-tied. Mathematician, and basically he said that any number can be derived from a single number, and it yields this perfect ratio. So it looks basically price will bounce here and it'll fall back. It hits one of these levels and it's going to fall back down. So, for instance, let me get an arrow tool out for you guys. So it might hit the 618 or something like this, and then it's going to fall right back down. So it just hits these lines and then it just falls. All right. So again, this is just a small little explanation of what it is. Okay, so after that we have rectangles, ellipses, triangles. Again, I'm gonna skip over the stuff that I don't use. So I like to use rectangles as a support line. Now, support is basically you have support and resistance. Support is a line used where it's going to hit it and like bounce off. So think of it as the floor. Okay, and think of this as the ceiling. It's going to go up, hit the ceiling, it's going to go down, touch the floor. It's going to bounce in between those. That is support. This right here is support. This right here is a resistance. Okay. We have text. I only use the call out. Like let's say price is pending to fall at this level, something like that. I just remind myself by writing like text. It's just basically notes on the screen. Okay. All right. We have harmonic cipher patterns. These are little. I would have to create another video to explain harmonic patterns and Elliott wave. It's a little complex. Basically, the theory goes that. Actually, I'm not going to get into this just yet, but we're going to skip over Elliott waves and harmonic patterns. Okay. All right. So now we have measure shift. Now, this is basically just measuring of how many pips it went up, how many pips it went down, so forth and so forth. So a better way to do this is by holding shift and clicking just once. And if you want to see how far Bitcoin went up at a certain period or went down or whatever, you would just drag it to that period. So for instance, right here, Bitcoin fell $420.34, and then followed by a little small correction that went up, but Bitcoin fell. And these numbers right here, this will tell you how much it fell. That's in the US dollars. This will tell you the change, the percentage it fell. And this will tell you how long it took to fall. So this is an 8-hour, 30-minute fall. And again, to do that, you would just hold shift and just click once. That's all you would do. Okay, so now we have zoom in. Zoom in, that's like self-explanatory. I don't like zooming in like that because it messes the screen up, quite honestly. So what I like to do is just use this thing to zoom and the scale right over here, the Y and the X axis. Okay. All of this stuff is irrelevant. I personally don't use it. This is if you want to remove an object. So you just click it, press delete, or you could press remove. All right. So that was a basic analysis of what the top of the chart is over here. The side, left side as well. Okay. All right, so now I'm just going to go over a basic this basic technical analysis for you guys. All right, so in technical analysis, we have these structures that keep happening. Now, a guy named Elliott Wave in the I believe it was the 1940s, he discovered in the stock market, and then he realized that this pattern keeps happening in other markets. So Elliott Wave, Elliott Wave, he found that these patterns keep happening. So we have a symmetrical triangle, falling triangle, a rising triangle, and inverted triangle or bullhorn triangle. Then we have a descending, ascending, standard symmetrical, and these are just trend lines, essentially. Okay. So I'm going to show you how to mark up these structures, okay? And what you're going to do is go right over here. Where is it? Trend line. Right here. Click this, add it a favorite. It'll create a toolbar for you so you don't have to keep finding it. You're going to click it. Then you're going to click at a point on the chart, and you're going to drag it, right? Then you click it again, point at the chart, and you're going to drag it across. Now, what you're trying to drag this trend line to is just points that line up, or wicks that touch this trend line and line up, okay? So basically, when it touches, you can see this is an example of the triangle right over here, but when it touches this layer, this is your support. So it touches it and then it goes up, okay? Touches it and then it goes up. As it hits the wall, they have resistance and then it falls. So what you're basically doing is caging price in this little wedge of where you think it's gonna touch and fall, and whatnot. And this is basically the premise of technical analysis. Again, this is just a lighthearted video to scratch at the surface of the complexity of technical analysis. But we will get into that soon. Again, you can also form a trend line right here. Because this is kind of the cool part of technical analysis because it tells you when to buy. So you have prices coming down, hits the trend line, goes up, hits the resistance, falls again, trend line, resistance, trend line, resistance. Okay, it keeps happening back and forth. And eventually it's going to have to break. And when that break happens, that's called a breakout. All right. So it touches the trend line itself. And when it touches these trend lines, that's a buy opportunity. When it hits the top of the trend line, that's a sell opportunity. And that is profit. Okay. So I'm just going to go back to the home page right here. And this is conclusion of the video of technical analysis and the dash of trading view. So yeah, there you go.